ways to figure that out, Al. Got some experience in my past with things like that, and so we'll try to point out the good, fix the bad, and move on. And as soon as I finish with this, that's what I do, is moving on to Buffalo, and it's going to be important for us to stay focused. And it's easy to explain to these guys and show them that if you don't play well in this league, I don't care where you play, I don't care who you play, you lose. It's the NFL.
Has there been one or two things that have been key as far as just the player buy-in, what the coaching staff is putting out there and adjusting to every week? It seems like that the buy-in level has been higher right now with this team than it's been in a long, long time.
I can't comment on how it's been because I wouldn't have any idea. But it's easy to get up and come to work with a group of guys that play hard. I mean, they play with great effort, which is expected of a football player. But they care about each other, and I think they're coachable. It's never going to be perfect by any means, but I think that they do genuinely care about each other, and that makes it easy for me to come to work and for our coaches to come to work.
You said yesterday you told Marcus you can't wait to see him play.
Yep.
Was that based on what you saw in the practice?
Well, it was kind of based on I first learned that because I was probably I was the overbearing dad when my kids played sports, right? And my wife gave me this book from Mark Schlereth, and I said, I can't read that whole thing. I'm not going to be able to get through that book. I'm sure it's great. I said, can you just give me the Cliff Notes? And so she's like, here's what he said. His kid was a baseball player and a good baseball player. And all he said was, I can't wait to watch you play today. Not, hey, don't strike out, don't hit a home run. Don't just say, I can't wait to watch you play today. And that's what I started going to when the boys were, 7th, 8th grade, and I needed to calm down. And so I thought he had a great week of practice. And again, I got the best seat in the house for a guy that had 400 yards total offense. And I felt like he was, I was ready to watch him play and take the practice week that he had and translate it to the game.
You repeat that line from here on out?
I probably will. And I've said that. It's the players. At that point in time, we got to do some things during the game as coaches, but it's their time to go out and perform. And, again, they did that.
What were some factors you think that allowed you guys to open up the passing game a little bit yesterday from previous weeks?
I think probably scheme. I mean, these guys make it hard to run on. I mean, there's a lot of guys within a few yards of the line of scrimmage. We'd like to be better there, but sometimes it's hard. It's difficult, and that team has said, and they've made a decision that people aren't going to run the football, and they get good players, and we got a good performance from our quarterback. I think his health, determined a lot of that, what we were able to do.
Did you see? You mentioned you couldn't wait to see him play. Did you see arm improvement even during last week in terms of maybe getting the ball downfield or arm strength?
Yeah, and I tried to mention that. I don't know if you guys believe me or not, but I said he's feeling better, and you guys probably don't believe me, but I said that it was better.
Mike, you guys left Jack out there long and Graham a lot. How do you think he did after watching the film?
It's good to have him back. Yeah, there's a lot of just mentally, I've never had an ACL or an injury that, there's a mental hurdle that you have to go through as a player. And that was Jack's first game back against a really good defensive line and good players. And so it was great for him to be into it mentally. He had a great week of practice. Excuse me. And then he went out and performed, and he played well. He'll get better. And but at least just getting over that hurdle of getting back out there on your first game since January.
How much is a factor of that in scheme and in the way you're approaching a game, with Jack and Taylor and presumably Dennis coming back, just being able to do more things?
I think that Matt called his best game since he's been here. I was really excited for him. I think him and Marcus had a great conversation, and it's just funny to kind of listen to those guys talk over the headset. communicate and what Marcus likes and what Matt is calling the game. And so, sure, Matt, every week we look at who's available, who we have, and what we feel like gives us the best chance to win the game.
How much does confidence help play, and how much should what Corey did yesterday kind of pole vault him to doing that on a more consistent basis?
Well, I think that confidence plays a large part in performance, but I don't think it can I think you have to be careful because you just don't want to just feel like you can just roll it out there. And just because you did it 1 week or you did it for 2 years, that you're going to just automatically do it the next week or the next season. And I think that that's always something that we guard is that, we're trying to build our reputation as a team and a player on what we're doing and what we will do as opposed to what we've done.
When you're in Vaccaro, and how concerned are you, especially at the safety position, where you've already had one devastating injury?
Wood is being evaluated, and I think he'll be okay. I can't tell you 100% that he's not going to miss any time, but we're hopeful. Kenny's going to have to miss a few weeks, and we'll probably. I don't think we'll go outside the building to look for a safety. I think that we'll look at who we have here and look at the practice squad, and that means Dane will have to be ready to go, and BT and everybody else.
Encouraged by what you saw from Kendrick just in his debut yesterday?
Inconsistent, like a lot of other guys. I think there's some good plays, and there's some plays he'd like to have back. But it's he's familiar with the system, and he'll only improve. No different than Rashawn. Rashawn's second game in the NFL. No preseason work. Did some things okay. Needs to get better in a lot of areas, and we have to coach him to be better.
Pass coverage, I guess, one of those areas that he's still working on.
Sure, I think a lot of things with pass coverage goes awareness and understanding of the call and the volume that we have defensively and what he can handle. And again, I have to do a better job of not only making sure that the stuff that we have in, he's very comfortable with and familiar with, because what may look good in practice could look really different in the game. I've been out there. I've understand that, it's a different tempo. Your eyes are in different places. So really a lot of that playing linebackers, we have to just make sure that we're training their eyes to when they are in zone coverage, what they're looking at, and when they're in man coverage, obviously they're looking at their man.
A lot of those games, a lot of those plays, I guess he probably, or at least might not have been in if Woodyard's still in the game.
Well, I don't know whether he's going to be in at that point in time or not, but we just have to make sure that the guys that are out there are ready to go, and we're developing. Again, there was some things that he did well, and you saw him attack the line of scrimmage a few times and snap into a couple guys and try to help build us a wall, and try to play fast, drew a holding call, things like that. So there's some positives, and then there's some things that we have to improve, and it starts with me making sure that I get it to the coaches and the players, or the players directly.
Jam Brown improved over the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, he was really one of those guys that probably was one of the players of the game on defense. His understanding has improved. Very productive player. Filling up the stat sheet, helping us win, covering the backs, working through traffic. Sometimes, you get in this preseason games and you had issues with, bunches or stacks, and you're getting picked. And now I think his awareness is slowly starting to improve. Just in his second year, it's been good. He's done a great job on screens, recognizing them, triggering. So we're going to need him to play well every week and continue improving.
Did you give out game balls for each unit?
The whole team's going to get a game ball. I just think that this was a kind of crazy win, and everybody kind of did something to help us win. And so they gave me a budget, which I didn't know that I had. And I'm going to give everybody, we got enough money to give everybody a game ball. So I told Stretch to make sure that everybody got one.
You have to cut back on something else because of that? Or?
I don't know. I'll have to ask Janine. She was the one that gave me the budget at the beginning of the year.
You ever had a tie? You ever had a game end in a tie as a player or coach before?
Yes. Yes. My freshman year at Ohio State at Wisconsin ended in a tie.
How'd you feel about that?
I don't know. I was 18 years old. I didn't even play. I think I was on punt return or some kickoff return. I didn't even play in the game. I went to Camp Randall. It was freezing, and it ended in a tie.
And you talked about yesterday was more about, playing to win. Part of it, you hate the thought of ending in a tie, or is it just a feel you want to go out and win it?
No, I don't think that you hate it so much. I think you're just trying to figure out what's going to be the best thing for this team to get to where we need to get to. Logically, trying to figure out, hey, can we get this done? If we pick it up, we're going to be able to score. We're going to have enough time left to score a touchdown. And then at that point in time, I just think that the players were dialed in. They were converting, executed a few fourth downs before that. And so I just had a lot of confidence in the players.
Early in the game, it seemed like you guys were attacking 31 on the Eagles defense. Was that kind of going into the game what you wanted to do, or was that something that developed as the game went on?
Well, I mean, I think that there's things every week where we have things that we need to do. And we felt like that we had to throw the ball down the field. And, Mills is a corner, Jones is the nickel, and Darby's the other corner, Jenkins and Graham. So I don't think we necessarily targeted anybody. It's just we knew that we needed to get the ball down the field. It was going to be tough to 3 yards in a cloud of dust it all the way down against that defense. And we're going to have to move and get some explosive gains. And we hit some, and then we missed some.
We were able to throw the ball more yesterday.
What do you think about this overtime format now that you've been in it? And there's been several already this year that have been ties or close to ties.
I'm going to reserve judgment on all the rules and the things for the competition committee and for the owners, the people that make the decisions.
What about as far as how you strategize it, since I know you try to be prepared for different situations?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was the way that I think our offense was finishing. We want to take the ball. We would like to have taken the ball. And then when we didn't, we played just good enough in the red zone to force them to kick a field goal. And, I think at that point in time, you still have a chance. I mean, you'd certainly like to be able to stop them, get the ball back, and drive down and kick a field goal. I think that's the plan when you don't receive the ball. But if you get it, I think you have to be aggressive enough to go down there and try to score a touchdown on the opening drive.
You were able to throw the ball more yesterday. What did you think of what you saw from your young wide receivers in a bigger role?
I think that Corey, it was good. I mean, it was great to have Corey make plays down the field, run good routes. Taywan ran good routes. 4th and 15, we converted to him. But again, it's like every other position that it has to be better than it was last week for us to win going forward. And it's a young group, it's a unique group, and so we'll keep working with them and trying to do use their skill set to help us move the ball down the field, help Marcus throw, and making sure, Tajay ran a great route in the red zone, stemmed the guy, widened him, threw him by, and got vertical. And Marcus gave him a good ball, and it was a well-executed play, a play that we went over twice on Friday just to make sure that we got the look that we needed. And we kind of knew the defense that they would be in and wanted to make sure that Tajay was running the route where Marcus wanted him to be.
Do you see tangible growth with them? I'll give you an example in that I think it was the third play of the game or whatever when you tried to get Davis on the home run. It looked like he turned back quickly, maybe got off his mark a bit, and it was an overthrow because of it. The 51-yarder later in the game, he basically turned around as the ball was in his lap. And it was perfect. Is that an example of a guy maybe learning within the game?
Understanding that when he looks back at the quarterback, he may lose a half a step, just like we talked to the defensive guys about. When you look back at the quarterback, the guy that you're covering usually gains a step on you. And I think there are different play calls and there are different plays, but I think that maybe you learn as you go. And Corey understands that Marcus is going to be looking for him, and the timing was better on the next one. And so I think that's all you can do is you go out there and then you make the corrections. When you come off on the side, you get together, you fix the issues. The quarterbacks talk to players. Linebackers talk to secondary guys, D-line. Everybody's communicating. You got to fix the problems pretty quickly, and then you have to go back out and execute it.
Obviously, Landry's play yesterday was huge, but all the way around, your young outside linebackers, can you talk about the progress that guys like Correa and Finch have been making as well?
Shane does a good job with them, making sure that they know the game plan. And, Rack and Morgan give them good leadership, veteran leadership in that room. And so, we're counting on everybody. It was hot yesterday, played a bunch of snaps, so everybody played, everybody that's active, with the exception of the few offensive linemen. They have to, we're playing everybody, special teams, defense, it's all hands on deck. And so, those guys will continue to work. They play hard. And so we'll just, the more that they do, the more they get to play.
On the Eagles' long touchdown pass, is your corner expecting safety help on that, or is it pretty much more on the corner to stick?
I think a lot of times you can see that we gave up 4 plays for 126 yards again. That is not the formula. That can't be the formula for us to win, is giving up big plays. And there's a lot of things that go into all that. Starts with the rush. When they throw a pass, starts with the rush, starts with the communication. And then ultimately, you got to cover your guy and make sure that everybody's doing their job and make sure that everybody's on the same page. And usually when those gains of 20 yards or more happen, one of those 3 things breaks down. And we got to do a better job coaching it, got to do a better job playing it. And hopefully we will, because you can see that either the penalty or the big play, it leads to points. And we've been good in the red zone, which is what we have to be. If you give up some yards and let them get down there, you got to be good in the red zone. We were yesterday. Was a big key for us being able to come back and win the game like we did.
How big of an impact did Kern have on the game, and what did you think about his tackle?
I think it saved the touchdown. I think the tackle saved the touchdown. I'm going to get him a bigger face mask if we're going to keep covering like that. But he's certainly a weapon to be able to punt the ball on the 3 and the 4. And then maybe we'd like him not to have to tackle. But it was great to see him get down there and really save the day for us. And we got to force him to kick a field goal right there.
How much is that trust in the back end? Because the guys in the secondary are really settled in. How much does that influence, your ability to be so aggressive up front with your blitzes and those type of attacking quarterbacks?
Well, I think that the communication, the familiarity with each other is critical. That guys can look at each other, have hand signals, eye contact, to be able to communicate what we're doing. And that communication needs to improve every week. It's just something that I'm always going to harp on, and Dean and our defensive coaches are always going to harp on. So hopefully we can improve that and continue to improve that. And then, make the plays, when they come our way.
Through the first 4 weeks, I think you guys are up 23 against all your opponents in the first quarter. Is that game planning by you guys, and how important is that to get off to those starts for what you guys are doing?
I think that it's tough in anything is to have to claw back, and we'd rather not claw back. And I think the one thing that we've embraced, that this team's embraced, is the close games, playing in close games. Again, said this after Miami, they're going to be 1-score games, and now we're on our 4th in a row. But the thing that I'm most proud of is that they've executed in the most critical situations. Yesterday was no different, but I can go back and in each game, I can tell you where they executed, which side of the ball did what, and again, that continued yesterday. So as long as we can, keep it close, we'd love to have some blowouts. If you have any in there, let me know. Would love to have them. I just don't see any in there, and so we're going to make it a 4-quarter game, and we'll maybe get some opportunities through turnovers to create a short field. But, I think that when you can execute in the most critical situations, you have a chance.
Is that the way you guys are preparing for each game, though? You're putting together solid game plans each
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's the players are taking it. They're again, it's our job to make sure that it's sound, that it gives us a chance to win, but the players understand it and they can execute it, and that's what we have to do every week. Thanks, guys.